Hello everybody, today we're doing Advanced Phrasal Verbs 8. These are phrasal verbs which I have taken from chapters 46 to 50 of the Advanced Phrasal Verbs book by Cambridge University Press, written by Michael McCarthy and Felicity Odell. So thank you, it's a great book. Please use this book if you'd like to learn a lot of phrasal verbs. So let's start with steal away, sneak away, creep away and slip away. And I've also put spirit away and whisk someone away here as well. So if you steal away or sneak away or creep away or slip away, you leave unnoticed. So if you're in a particularly boring meeting which is dragging on and on, you might want to slip away in order to do something which you find more interesting, which isn't so dull and boring. You might want to creep away, sneak away, steal away. All of those would be possible to use in that situation. But you can spirit someone away, and that's important. There's a someone in there. Spirit someone away, and that means, or something. You can spirit something away as well. And that means to take someone or something away without anybody noticing. And that's the important thing about all of these. When you steal away, nobody notices. When you creep away, nobody notices. And when you spirit someone away, nobody notices that you've taken that person. Or when you spirit something away, nobody notices that you've taken that thing. You could also whisk someone away, and that sounds a little bit different. It doesn't sound like nobody noticed. When you whisk your wife away, it sounds like you have whisked her off to a romantic destination. So whisk someone away, it's usually romantic, and it's done quickly and suddenly. It doesn't have to be romantic. In fact, the point is that it's quick and it's sudden. When something or someone whisks you away, that means that it was very quick, very unexpected, very sudden. And when you whisk someone off to somewhere, that means you take them suddenly away on holiday usually. You whisk someone off to the Bahamas, or you whisk someone off to Mallorca. So that's usually when you take someone suddenly and unexpectedly away on holiday. Whisk someone away has no object, well, apart from someone, but whisk someone off to, you actually name the place. So they're very similar. If you creep up on someone, then you approach them without them noticing, usually from behind, yeah? Because if it's from in front, they will notice. So you might creep up on someone in order to scare them or to frighten them, and you might sneak up on someone when you don't want them to see you. There could be lots of reasons for doing so, but usually it's some kind of joke or something like that. Okay, if you walk in on someone or barge in on someone or burst in on someone doing something, they're doing something clandestine, and you have suddenly, unexpectedly walked in on them or barged in on them. Please remember all the other in-on verbs, phrasal verbs, which are very often related to clandestine activities, like be in on a secret plan, listen in on somebody's conversation, muscle in on someone's business. It's nearly always clandestine when you in on someone, and I think we've got some more somewhere which will come up a bit later, which also use that in on form. Now if you bowl along somewhere, you just walk energetically somewhere. I tend to bowl along. I do a lot of walking and I enjoy walking, and I usually bowl along, and that just means that I take long strides. I'm striding somewhere, and I'm doing it energetically. I'm not slow. I'm actually quite fast when I walk, so I bowl along whenever I walk around. If you trip someone over, all of these are movement basically. If you trip someone over, you put your leg out so that they fall over your leg. So if you trip someone over, then yeah, you make them fall over. Trip someone over or trip someone up. I haven't made this very clear. Trip someone over or trip someone up. But if you just say I tripped over, that means you fell over. Maybe you tripped over a stone. Maybe you tripped over a large rock. Maybe you tripped over, could be anything. For a banana skin, by the way, I would say slipped over. I slipped over a banana skin. And you can slip up as well, but slip up also means to make a mistake. Now if you draw back, you just back off. You go backwards. Draw back is exactly the same as back off. It means move a few steps back. Draw back. Draw is very often used for movement. Draw up, draw back. And if you double back, then you go back exactly the way you came. So usually when you've forgotten something, you suddenly double back because you think, oh, I've forgotten my mobile phone, I'll have to double back. It means I have to go back home and pick up my mobile phone. If you stumble on or across or upon something, it's exactly the same as come across. It means find by chance, suddenly stumble upon a gold watch, come across. It could be anything. It doesn't even need to be something physical. It could be information in a newspaper. So it could be absolutely anything which you find by chance, unexpectedly or accidentally. Exactly the same as come across, and happen upon is the same again, but it's a more formal version of stumble on, stumble across. Upon is always more formal than on. You can frown on something if you disapprove, but you can frown upon something as well. It just sounds more formal. If you are gaining on someone, that means you are chasing them. You are trying to catch up with them, and you are getting closer and closer. So it's exactly the same as close in on. When you are chasing someone, if you close in on them, you are gaining on them. You are reducing the distance that you are behind them. You're getting closer and closer and closer. So gain on and close in on are the same. Zero in on, and these are other in on ones. Zero in on means when you aim to catch someone. So if you're a police car, you might suddenly get a call that's telling you to zero in on a suspect. And it just means aim to get closer. To close in on them will be the next step. But first you zero in on them. And home in on them is very much like zero in on them. It means aim towards that subject. Basically chase. You chase when you home in on. And we even say a homing missile, which is a missile which homes in on its target. It aims at its target. If the target goes left, the missile goes left. So that's what a homing missile is, written like this, homing missile. So that's why we say home in on someone or something or a car. Yeah. So they're all related. If somebody says move up or move over or budge up or budge over or squash up, then they're telling you to move over, to move a little bit over so that they have space usually to sit down. If loads of people are piling into the office or flooding into the office or swarming into the office or flowing into the office or the crowd is streaming into the office, it just means loads of people at the same time going in one direction. All of these are equivalent, and it would be into a building but out of a building. So there are opposites. You can also you can say the spectators at the football match flooded out of the stadium at 6 o'clock. Now, if somebody drops back, it means you're walking in a group and somebody moves towards the back of the group. It means they're dawdling. They're behind everybody else. And it sounds unintentional to me when somebody drops back. But when somebody hangs back, that's intentional. It's the same as drop back, but it's intentional, and it's very often because they're shy or something like that. They don't want to walk up to the front. They don't want to go on ahead, but they're hanging back. Lastly, clear out. If you clear out your house, you completely clean it of furniture and everything. So it's usually when you move house, if you want to move into a new property, you need to clear out your old property. But the same if you're moving office, at work. If you're moving from one office to another, you need to clear out the old office. Okay, chapter 47. If you survive on something or feed on something or prey on something, that is your main food in order to survive. You can also say live on something. So you might say the lion preys on the antelope, or the lion lives on the antelope. The lion survives on large mammals. If you break off a branch, it means break the branch off the tree. But you could snap off a branch. You could cut off a branch with a knife. You could rip off the branch or tear it off with your hands. So all of those are related. These are all about trees really. If you're uprooting a tree, you're digging it out of the ground by the roots. I had to do this with 6 or